We are so lucky to be entering the age of AI with a growing aging population. Let me explain why. I believe that older adults today are the holders of our humanity. They are the last generation who grew up without technology. They still know how to form strong human bonds. Also, incredibly, we evolved as a species where just in the past 50 years, we live longer than ever before, which means that today there's 1.4 billion people over 60 on the planet. And by the time I'm going to be in my 60s, by 2050, there's going to be 2.3 billion. This is the best educated, the healthiest, the longest living, and in certain cases, the wealthiest generation that's ever lived. They have something else. They have an abundance of time and wisdom because our social infrastructure is set up that by 65 and 70, in certain cases, they are asked to retire. And there's no actual active role for them to partake, which means that they have an abundance of time, they have an abundance of wisdom, and they have the desire to do good and leave a better world behind. I feel incredibly fortunate that we have this generation today because we need what makes us human more than ever. We need to learn empathy and curiosity and generosity straight from the source, from our older adults. Because after all, we evolved as a species with older adults taking care of youth while the middle generation worked. And it wasn't until we kind of broke this social contract in the last century that we saw the rise of epidemic loneliness and epidemic mental health in youth. And we saw both older adults and youth suicide rates go up. I don't believe that's a coincidence. I believe that we have the opportunity to repair the fabric of society, to bring in older adults actively to take care of youth. I believe that older adults have the power to support the next generation, but also the responsibility to do so. And let me explain why. It is so beautiful that as humans, we are wired for older adults to support youth. There's research from Johns Hopkins University that when older adults support young people in intergenerational connection, they delay and in certain cases reverse cognitive decline. There's also research from Harvard that shows that when older adults follow their purpose and do good, it delays their death and it delays cardiac events. Those two are the highest costs of our increased aging, and they are solved by taking care of young people. How incredible that our species is wired that way. So I believe in this age of AI, it's more important than ever that we completely rethink aging. We rethink the social infrastructure. We build a future where older adults are actively engaged in supporting our youth. Because we are also coming into an age with disruptions in AI, in the job market, in climate, in energy, where young people need more support than ever to build a better future for all. And I believe a better future is possible. I really do. But I believe the only way we're going to get there is by mobilizing older adults as a force for good globally. It's good for them, it's good for young people, it's good for the world. So I dedicate my work to making that possible. I think that older adults, I don't see them as the recipients of care. I see them as the caregivers of humanity and the protectors of the next generation. And I believe that technology has evolved in a way that's allowing us to create a platform for them to fulfill that role in society. I'm really excited about how humanity is evolving. And I know for a fact that older adults are key to reaching the next level of humanity. I think we live in a scary time with the rise of AI, and it's changing so many different social contracts that we've had until now. But I think it's also giving us an opportunity to do better, to create support systems so that every young person grows up with a kind, caring adult who is dedicated to making their life better. Because when a young person and an older adult connect, they form a bond. The young person has an easier way of reaching their potential. And the older adult builds a legacy and improves their health. So I come back to where I started. I believe we're incredibly lucky to have evolved our technology and AI at the same time as our humanity and longevity. Because in order to be really successful in bringing AI to its potential, we need the deepest and most sacred humanity to support it. And I believe that older adults are the source for that. So join me in exploring how one older adult, one young person, once a week can build a better world together.